Hello. So in this video, I'll be walking through my SQL project for Chapter 3 on joins using the Wide World Importers database. So I wrote a total of 10 queries, and for each one, I'll explain the proposition, the type of join that I used, and what the results show after running the query. Some queries return actual rows of data, while others return empty results, and I'll explain why that makes sense based on the conditions. So the goal here is to demonstrate my understanding of joins, grouping, and filtering in SQL. So here's my query 1. So I'm going to execute this, and um, so for query 1, I'm just showing a small sample of 10 customers along with their category names. I used an inner join between the customers table and the customer categories table. So I only get customers that actually have a category assigned. The results come back ordered by customer ID, and I can see 10 rows with both the customer name and the category, which looks correct. Okay. So this is my query 2. So in query 2, I wanted to see every customer category and how many customers belong to it. I did a left join from categories to customers. So I keep all the categories, even the ones that don't have any customers. Then I grouped by the category ID and name and counted the customers in each one. The results show counts for categories like agents, wholesalers, and so on. If a category has 0 customers, it still shows up, which means the left join is working. Okay, this is my query 3. So for query 3, I'm checking if customers are missing a website URL. I built a case statement that flags them as 1 if it's missing and 0 if it's not. I also counted how many orders each customer has by joining to the orders table. I used the left join so all customers show up even if they don't have any orders. In my results, all the website flags came back as 0, which just means that nobody is missing a website in this database. And this is my query 4. So the query 4 looks at phone numbers. I used an inner join chain from customers to cities, states, and then countries so I could show the delivery country. I added a case that checks if the phone number is null, empty, or just something fake like NA or 00000. The phone number, I mean. Okay. If it is, I flag it as a bad phone. When I ran it, the results mostly showed valid phones, and the bad phone flag stayed at 0. That's normal because the sample data is clean. Okay, so for query 5, I pulled the 15 newest customers based on when their account was opened. I joined them to the orders table and used max order date to find each customer's most recent order. Since it's a left join, even customers with no orders will show up, but their order date will just be blank. In the results, I see 15 customers with recent order dates filled in for some of them and null for others. That's exactly what I expected. For query 6, it lists all the customers, shows whether they're on credit hold, and counts how many orders they have. I used a case statement to make the credit hold status more readable. It shows on hold if the value is 1. Otherwise, it just says clear. The left join two orders makes sure customers with no orders are still included. In my results, everyone shows up as clear, which is just because the data doesn't have anyone on hold. That's fine. Okay, my query 7 is about customers with long payment terms. So over here, I want to see customers who have payment terms of 45 days or more. I joined through cities, states, and countries again so I could also show their country. But I added a where condition that filters only customers with payment days greater than or equal to 45. In this database, there aren't any customers like that, so the results come back empty. That's actually correct because it just means the data doesn't have any matches. And my query 8 is about multiplication table with a cross join. So over here, this is a cross join example. I created two lists of numbers from 1 to 5 and then did a cross join between them. That gives me every possible pair, which is 25 rows in total. I also show the product of the two numbers, so basically it builds a 5 by 5 multiplication table. The results show rows like 1 times 1, 1 times 2, up to 5 times 5, so I know it worked. My query 9 is about most expensive stock items and their suppliers. In query 9, I looked at the 20 most expensive stock items and who supplies them. I joined the stock items table with suppliers and then sorted everything by unit price in descending order. The top 20 rows come back and I see the item name, supplier, and price. The highest priced item shows up first, which means the query is doing what I want. And my query 10 is about recent orders with customers and salesperson. For the last query, number 10, I pulled the 20 most recent orders and showed both the customer name and the salesperson's name. I joined orders to customers on customer ID and also to people on the salesperson ID. I sorted by order date in descending order so the newest ones show up first. In the results, I see the order ID, order date, customer, and the salesperson that handled it. That matches the goal of the query perfectly.